Yo, what's good guys, VENM Fire here back with another video, and today we have another mini scheme. Going to be kind of a quarterback run scheme slash option scheme. You guys seem to like these videos, so we're going to bring you guys another one. In today's video, we're going to be the Baltimore Ravens offensive playbook, running this pistol strong eye wing. It's a formation that I have not gone over, and it has some really good runs, really good passes. Definitely a good scheme to run. Going over some of the plays, we got blast. I should move my camera, shouldn't I? I should. Move that bad boy up, and then we got a couple of RPOs here on that left side. It's going to be a lot of play action passes. You have Ravens power on the right. That's going to be a run we go through. Play action, fullback rub, flat. Definitely a solid play with that wide receiver post. You have dive, PA scissors, stretch, read option, and halfback zone. So overall, we have a couple of nice plays, as I accidentally pressed random play, but going into our audibles, what I personally like to have in the audibles are going to be stretch alert, looky, dive, Ravens power, and play action, fullback rub, flat. The play I usually come out in is going to be play action, boot, left, or LT, whatever. The play action scissors play is good, but something weird happens. It's for whatever reason the wide receiver is further outside, so when you actually run that play, it shows a weird motion. So I don't really like running that, but I will maybe show it. There's also a read option that I might go into and some other plays, but let's start out with the PA boot LT, just so that we basically have a fifth audible. Alright, so here we are out on the field, and taking a look at this PA boot LT play, we kind of have a couple of nice things. Now, I like to run my offense with these two tight ends to the wide side of the field. Pretty much what we have here is a kind of a crossing route, and then you have a post behind it, and we of course have a comeback with the play action. Now normally if I'm running like a pistol scheme, a heavy run scheme, I actually usually will keep the play action. Not only will play action help you in the blocking department, but also it's going to help you out with just overall faking out your opponent, maybe getting him a little bit off balance with this user. So we also don't have any abilities for this, so you could create some better route combinations potentially. Like right here, I might put X on a post instead of a streak, but we just don't have that. Now, what I like to do generally for this is we're just going to motion out Jimmy Graham and kind of motion snap him, keep the play action, and then he gives us like a crosser, a little flat route here with Damian Williams, and then your backside post. Nice little route combination that you can go to. One thing I like to do out of a lot of these plays, if we don't want this little swing route to this side, what you can do is maybe put him on a little out route, and you see he actually runs the good out routes out of the backfield where he doesn't have to like go on a weird option type look. So I like that. You could run it like this, and then again, I like to motion out Jimmy Graham so that the crossers aren't kind of running in the same area. He's just a later read that we can throw like right about here. And of course, running mutt, you're gonna have probably gunslinger, set feet lead. You're gonna have some faster tight ends, so it might look a little bit better than this, but you can put Damian Williams to really either side. We can go outside, we can go inside. Again, I like to just have a clear out. Over here on the left side, your crosser can get open. You also don't have to motion if you don't want to. If you're afraid of running out of time, you could just kind of run the stock and actually run it with like a little max protection. But again, there you see the crosser and the post, they kind of run into the same area. So generally, I like to have some motion behind it just so that they don't do that. But some other things that you can do, you can go with a little wheel route. One thing I like to do out of this is these wheel route combinations where we wheel and go with a flat behind it. So that's something that you'll see me go to a lot out of some of the passing plays. And again, I would probably like having hot route master for this or something to put these guys on a lot of hot routes just so that we can do a little bit more, not only out of the backfield, but with these tight ends and with that receiver. But yeah, man, you don't necessarily need it. Now, you can also motion these tight ends to the opposite side of the field. So we can, for example, let's go with like a little corner out. We streak X, we go ahead like flat A, and we can just run something like this over here. And again, maybe I put X on a deeper post, and you don't have to have the play action every time, but I do think it helps. But here you see Jimmy Graham, instead of running that post, now he's running a corner out. He's able to get super deep, get pretty much wide open there. But again, we can put a running back on the route, so maybe we just wheel him and then kind of run the play like this, streak X. But overall, it's going to be a lot of like shorter passes out of this pistol scheme. You're really trying to put together longer drives, 10, 15 yard or play drives, move the ball slowly, eat up a lot of the clock, and make it a shorter game. So again, you're not looking for one play touchdowns here, deeper crossing routes. You're just looking to move the ball, pick up multiple first downs a drive. Now our next play is going to be stretch, alert, X, looky. This is a nice RPO. Generally, we just hand the ball off. Against certain coverages, you might be able to throw the slant, and it also has to do with where he's using, because you don't want to get lurked. Now, most people probably aren't going to go ahead and lurk there, but you see how the computer kind of does a good job there, and that's curl flat zone, just playing it inside. So it's kind of difficult to get our boy Allen Robinson open. You can't actually motion him inside if you wanted. It doesn't really affect the play, but just something if you wanted to do it out of any play, you could. But yeah, man, just a pretty good run. It's kind of intended to get the outside like a normal stretch, and it actually is pretty good. Not many people run like pistol stretches, and they are pretty difficult to gap shoot out of pistol, just because we have two tight ends over there and a fullback. In Ultimate Team, I'm probably going with like a high overall fullback, like a Franco Harris. In regs, a lot of the fullbacks are terrible, super slow, and so for the passing game, I might just throw a running back there, just because you see, look at Damian Williams there, just chop block the safety, and if he's one-on-one with safeties, usually he's able to hold the block or at least go down low like he did right there. So overall, just really good run. Again, maybe if it's man coverage, off coverage on man situation, you are able to throw that, but normally we are just going to go ahead and probably stick to it normally and just hand the ball off. And again, to hand the ball off, all you're doing is holding A. Actually, in this one, you don't even need to, but for most of those options, sometimes you have to hold A. But let's move into our next play, which is going to be the halfback dive, if I'm not mistaken. This is one where I actually kind of like running it from both. You can run it from either the right or the left. I just like the way that he hands off the ball here. It really allows your offensive lineman to get upfield. It's kind of like in between a draw and a regular halfback dive, I want to say, because it is a little bit of a slower handoff, but it's not as slow as a draw. But you see how far my offensive linemen can get down the field. They can get to that second level really easily, which does a pretty good job at blocking the second level and really taking away those linebackers from shooting the run. So that's one thing that I like a lot about running this halfback dive. If we want, we can create a little bit more of a symmetrical look, motion over one of these tight ends, and that can allow us to maybe cut it back if we wanted to, which probably would have been the better option in that particular scenario. Also, we can flip the run, just flip your right stick to the left in this case, and you can still motion over the tight end, and this will allow you to probably go to that left side a lot easier, as we were able to there. And you see, with a lot of these situations, we're picking up like 6-7 yards before contact. So just really easy chunk plays. You can also motion over Kmet. You don't have to motion over Jimmy Graham. One thing that's kind of cool is when you motion over Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham kind of lines up in that wide receiver stance. So he now actually gets wide receiver hot routes, which is something that is pretty cool. So you could throw him on like a slant if you wanted and then motion the tight end back, I guess. But yeah, man, just creating good run fits. Getting really surgical in the run game, doing different motions, different things to open, certain other things up. Sorry about that, but another thing you can do will just create like some eye candy here. We're going to just motion Damian Williams over to this side, and then we're actually just going to run it back to the right. That can maybe pull the user to the left a little bit, open up something on the right, but it's all about confusion. It's all about making things look the same, just a lot of pre-play motion. Kind of like the Ravens do in real life, and I like creating some of those concepts in Madden. This is a very fun scheme to run. Not going to be too competitive. I mean, you're going to win. You can easily win games running this, but it's not going to be like, oh, weekend league, I'm trying to sweat 25-0. No, you're just kind of running this to have fun, and you can definitely put together some wins, and I think it's a lot of fun to run. So that's the halfback dive. Moving into our next play, we got the Ravens power. Just a basic power O, kind of similar to the way that Justin Fields handed off on that stretch. But only this one we have a pulling guard in this Ravens power. Nobody's pulling, as you see, or the stretch, no one's pulling. Ravens power, we got our left guard pulling over, which is just going to create a lot more swing. Our fullback kind of crashes down here, so it's just a lot of uphill. Now, you do probably want to be a little bit patient. Faster guards would, of course, help, but just maintaining your patience. You don't have to hold turbo, just kind of wait, and then you can hold turbo, but just good to get to the outside. Again, if he's gap shooting, I like running power a lot to pick up some of those guys. Also with this play, another thing you can do is flip it. So you can flip it. Maybe we flip and then just motion over Damian Williams so that he doesn't completely pull. And then we just read the blocks and boom, you see we're off to the races almost 15 yards later. So you can definitely just combine a couple of concepts. And we're doing, the same style of motions that we did for the halfback dive and some of the passing plays we're now doing for some of these running plays like the halfback power. So it's just reading the defense. Where's the weakness of the defense? In this case, probably that left side. We read that and we're able to adjust to it pretty easily here. So again, we can motion either guy. You can also motion this running back out and he actually goes as a wide receiver. So that can create some mismatches. That can also tell you what the coverage is. So for some of those passing plays, that's definitely something that I've considered doing, because you can also, even if we do motion the fullback out, we can still run the football. That's a nice thing that we can do. We can still run the football. Damian Williams is going to pick up the cornerback down the field, and he's going to do his thing. Now, normally the coverage will also adjust with it. You'll usually see a zone go out with him. But if we were to do it for a passing play, you see he still is going to go out, and I'm not sure. I think it's because he's on that stock route. Normally you could throw him on like a drag. Now, again, when you motion him out, we can't motion Jimmy from this point either. Komet, we can't motion any of these guys, so maybe we like go with a streak. Or maybe we go wheel route, put RB on an out route, and this could be a really good concept. Maybe you just drag A, but it can definitely open up some certain things, and this is some of the things out of the passing game that I should have showed, but I will be showing in the next couple of plays we show anyway. But just overall, some cool concepts. And yeah, Ravens power, you can flip it. Overall, just a really good run. Again, patience is the most important thing with this run, but it should be pretty reliable for you. All right, our next play is going to be the play action fullback rub flat. This play is good for a couple of reasons. You have a nice little running back flat here, and another thing that you like is A-Rob's backside post route. You can smart out it, you can leave it default. Normally what I'll do is I kind of like to smart out it, get a little bit deeper down the field. You can do whatever with that. But you can go ahead, go with like a little wheel route. I think wheel route, you can go with like flat, put RB on a little in, and then you have your tight end hitch in the middle of the field. So this could be a combo that I like. Again, we're kind of focused on shorter routes, but you see RB's open there. The wheel route, of course, is going to be open a ton against really every coverage. We know about how good these wheel routes are. I know you guys are doing them because I always play against it. But yeah, you can just get creative. Flat B, wheel Y, have your backside post route. Here we're going to get a little bit more time, and you see we can check it down to Damian Williams. He's a guy I throw to a lot. I believe you can maybe put a tight end there as well, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I think you can put a tight end. So if you have 3 good tight ends, I don't know if you're running a theme team or whatever, that could be something that might be a little bit interesting to you. Here we're going to try and throw it to Allen Robinson or Komet on their little read. You see Komet's going to kind of pull him down. Now, he does run pretty deep, which is maybe an issue for you, so who knows. But again, we can incorporate some motion. So we want to use some of the motion that we used. We can maybe motion Komet over, flat him. We can slant Y, or slant B rather now. We can smart out X, and then maybe I just leave RB on this little flat here. So this would be a combo that I might like. Or we can just throw RB on the wheel route from the fullback position. And again, wouldn't be the worst combination. Just creating some cool stuff. He's probably thinking run. We motion the tight end over. He's shifting everybody, and then you pass. So you do want to stay pretty balanced when you're running this. And again, just some cool stuff. You motion over that A tight end. Now Jimmy Graham's the receiver. Now we can put him on a slant. And again, we can wheel route. You keep the play action so it looks like halfback dive, and now you are able to like throw this to Jimmy Graham. Now I threw that really late, missed my window of opportunity, but normally you'd throw that either earlier, up to the sideline, or just low ball it in between that window. But that's a way to run it. Another decent way you can maybe run it if you wanted is maybe motion over like Jimmy Graham, throw him on like a little streak. I don't know what you do. Maybe wheel Y, flat A, put RB on like a little in route, so you do something like this. But overall, you see we're just mixing up tons of different route combinations. When people defend, pistol, they have no idea what to expect, because when they're playing against bunch or trips, they know what they're facing. Corner routes, rollouts, just posts, deep crossers, wheels. But when they're facing pistol, it's a lot to worry about with the run game. They immediately can't really run dollar 2-4-5 odd, because you can run on it really easily. And then just a lot to deal with in the passing game as well. So super difficult. They don't know who to man up. And again, with Hot Route Master, this could get even better. Let's show one more passing play, though, the PA scissors I want to go into. Last play is the PA scissors. And this was kind of similar to that first passing play that we ran, mainly just because of Jimmy Graham's corner out. But everything else is kind of different. Now, one thing I don't like about this, see where Allen Robinson's lined up. If we audible to the dive, Look how far he comes in. That's an easy tell that you're running PA scissors. So normally I won't try to run this play. If you're playing a low level player in weekend league, a trash can, you can kind of come out in this play. But normally I won't try and come out and like dive and then audible to this, because they can see. Normally when the receivers go outside, it's kind of an easy tell that you're passing the football. But other than that, you can create some nice things with this play. If you wanted to, you could actually like create double deep posts, motion over, kind of like this. You see almost like 2 deeper post routes. You could actually kind of run this play stock in that sense. It takes a while to develop, but if they're running super deep, you know, zone drops, you can maybe clear out X and open them up that way. Or we can just go ahead, open up our boy Cole Kmet, go with RB on a little like out route. Maybe with X, we put him on like an in route, something like this. I like to run as a rollout play. And again, if I'm running something like this, I'm probably coming out in PA scissors, running it. If you do that, sometimes they won't notice, especially if they don't zoom out of their camera. You do have to zoom out to kind of see that. And again, this is a really good combo. And of course, we could put RB the other way if we wanted to. We could actually still wheel route him if we wanted. So we can create the wheel route, corner route combo. I like the out route a little bit better in this case, but just something there. Wanted to show the play. And again, you have other runs like read option. I don't like read option as much. Personally, I like this dive, but if you do notice the option to take off with your QB, you can definitely do that. That's going to be the video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.